same etapas. Yeah. I'll see you.
have been licensed and assigned by the International IIHF Federation. The referee of the game are Stephen Reno and Tobias Verli, the line winner Andreas Malmqvist and Peter Sefcik. The starting is 6 heroes of Team Canada is goalkeeper number 35, Darcy Kumper. Defenders, number 55, Colton Pareto, and 44, Mark-Emil Vlasic. Forwards, number 97,
Darcy Kemper gets a starting goal for Canada. He'll make his 4th appearance in the tournament as Canada makes some lineup changes. The second last day of the round-robin portion of the competition. Canada has Latvia tonight, Germany tomorrow. And for Latvia, still a chance to qualify for the quarterfinals. They're sitting in 5th spot right now, a point behind Canada. Latvia will close out in a huge game tomorrow night here against the host Danes, the last game on this side of the round robin. It'll be Christos Gudlevskis, the 25-year-old, who plays for Bridgeport in the American League, gets the start for Latvia. And he had that game in Sochi we talked about. Ray allowed 2 goals on 57 shots as Canada finally pried it open with a power play goal in the 3rd period in the quarterfinals of that Olympic tournament.
Giving up 8 goals on 29 shots, his only game against the Finns. Elvis Merzlikins has been the #1 goaltender and had a fantastic tournament. They'll give him the rest. He'll go against Denmark tomorrow.
Yeah, not even dressed for this game tonight. As Mark-Edward Vlasic flutters that towards the goal, and Gudlevskis hangs on. Played 3 games for the Tampa Bay Lightning, did Gudlevskis. After being a 5th-round pick of Tampa in 2013, now in the Islander organization, his 5th year in the American Hockey League. Latvia was 10th last year in the first year under head coach Bob Hartley.
Even a single point for Latvia today is helpful if they can get the game to overtime. That opens up a couple more possibilities against Denmark.
Canada 11-0-1 all time against the Latvians. Was a draw back in 1997. Braden Chen pokes it back. Vlasic moves ahead. Mark-Edward Vlasic made his debut in this year's tournament in Canada's last game that lost to Finland. And a rink-wide pass goes to Michaelis Redlis. Works in, drops it off. Zaric in, shoots, and he fired that wide. Andres Zaric has a couple of goals in the tournament already. Latvia opened with a 3-2 overtime win over Norway. Lost to Finland, beat South Korea, lost in overtime to the United States, and then beat Germany 3-1. Canada lost its opener in a shootout to the United States, then won 3 in a row against Korea, Denmark, and Norway, then a 5-1 loss to Finland. And the puck fired in, icing called against Latvia.
Of the smaller countries on this side of the pool, Bob Hartley's team has several younger players that have been impressive in the tournament, which maybe separates them a little bit from others, where you can see what the next wave of their national team is going to look like.
Bailey pokes it back for Joel Edmondson. And now Bailey centers it. O'Reilly with a shot that goes off a leg. 10 of the 25 players on the Latvian roster are 23 years of age or younger.
And importantly so, their goaltenders are 24 and 25 as well.
Latvia in its 22nd consecutive year in the top group. Jaden Schwartz trying to feather that pass through, and now Aaron Ekblad knocks it ahead. In comes O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly shoots, and Guzlevski's got a piece of that.
O'Reilly's had a good tournament for Canada.
They're down by Ronald Kennens, the former Vancouver Canuck who played 38 games in the NHL. Ryan Murray pokes that ahead, and Guzlevski's way out to play it. Hard to believe it was 4 years ago he was so good in Sochi. As Nurse lays it down to Jost. It didn't really translate for him after that in the American League.
But then he runs into a roadblock in Tampa Bay and Andrei Vasilevsky. Tough to get traction, yet just 25 years old. And how many times do you notice a goaltender that springs into the forefront? He seems like an overnight sensation, and then you go, oh, he's 26 years old. The opportunity has to be there, and when the door opens, you've got to play well enough to do so.
Anthony Beauvillier for Matt Barzal back at the point. Cold breakaway shot in the pad save by Gudlevskis. Brought in by Barzal, centering pass, and Gudlevskis can't find it. Looks at the side of the goal, they score! Beauvillier pokes it in, and Canada leads 1-0. And by the way, Bob Hartley right away looked at the assistant coaches to see if maybe Latvia should challenge this.
We'll get a look at this. The long shot from Parayko was turned aside, and Barzal's going to just fling this towards the net. You can see the puck is loose. There's no goalie interference. Beauvillier is the one that sweeps to the puck first. The official is on the far side of the ice. He skates around the back of the net, so he's got a view that the puck is not covered. It's just sitting there. Everybody has to wait for it, and Beauvillier is the one that finds it first. his second goal of the tournament. Canada has a 1-0 lead.
Beauvillier scored in Canada's opener against the United States, coming off a 21-goal season for the New York Islanders. And Braden Shen works in. That shot was blocked by Kristaps Sutniks. The game against Finland, the only one in which Canada didn't score first so far in the tournament. And now Parayko back with it. Colton Parayko plays it down to Schwartz. Shen pivots back. Nugent Hopkins centers it. The pass broken up by Andres Zaric. Out to center ice, he brought in by Meeks and Drashi's a centering pass, and it goes off the leg of Zaric. Vlasic plays it around to Parayko, loose at center ice, chomped at by Shen, flips it across for Nugent Hopkins. Canada changing as Nugent Hopkins works in. Moves around Guntis Galvin. Oskar Sabolskas reaching for it. Galvin plays it back to center ice, poked ahead by Edmondson, gloved down by Abols. Rodrigo Abols works in, centers it, and Kemper makes the stop there with Ronald Kennens moving in.
That's more important than the goal for Canada at this point. Darcy Kemper came in relief, gave up 2 goals and 14 shots in the loss to Finland, including one that he gave away to Eli Tolvanen. This is a terrific stop. His first touch of the puck is a deflection from Kennens, and Canada's goaltending position comes into the spotlight as a position that has to be better. Kennens' deflection snared sharply by Kemper.
In Copenhagen, the Czechs have scored 2 early goals, 1 minute and 56 seconds apart. They've got a 2-0 lead on Austria. The Czechs can't move in the standings. They will be third in Group A.
Austria has already accomplished what they had hoped to do, and that is to stay into next year's A pool.
The first team in a decade to be promoted and then stay in the top level. France last did it back in 2008. And Schwartz plays it back down. On this side, Korea was relegated earlier today with a loss to Norway. Latvia still very much in the chase for a quarterfinal spot here as Murray shoots, and that goes wide. Their game against Denmark sets up as the key one for them, hence the reason that Merzlikins is not dressed tonight. Matt Barzal swings it down to Tyson Jost. The young Avalanche star plays it there for Barzal. Jost picks it out of the corner. Pivots back. And Tyson Jost still on it. Jordan Everly plays it back for Barzal. Barzal still on it. Pivots back behind the goal. Throws it back in front. Finally picked off by Roberts Buchart. Ryan Murray head for Everly. He finds Jost. Jost walks in. Threads it back in front. And Schwartz couldn't bat that out. Barzal rather couldn't bat that out of the air. Nurse swings back in the corner. Darnell Nurse of the Edmonton Oilers. Down to Barzal. At Barzal. Swings it down to Nurse for Everly. Jordan Everly. Goes down to Jost. Centering pass for Horvat. That was blocked. And now back at the point is Murray. Ryan Murray banks it down to Horvat. That missed. Beauvillier comes flying off the bench. And the puck loose at center ice. Horvat on it now. Played around by Zaric. Now Parayko steps up. Colton Parayko plays up behind the goal. Zaric picks it up. Beauvillier was back defending. The puck chipped down to the Canadian zone. And back goes Marc-Edouard Vlasic for it. The only Olympic gold medalist on the Canadian roster. Now the puck bounces to the Canadian bench. 13:39 to go here in the first period. Anthony Beauvillier has taken Canada to a 1-0 lead. you're going to come to a game with the World Hockey Championship, you pretty much have to dress up.
We've seen costumes of all sorts. I mean, the goalie masks and all that is fine.
Yeah.
However, the rabbits, the bears,
Yeah.
a little warm in Herning to be wearing a wool bear costume thing.
Yeah. But, you know.
But they're out there.
You got to be dedicated, right?
Well, they have a commitment to the cause. There's no question.
Connor McDavid plays it back for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
I was downstairs and the drums were getting louder, and the people that take the tickets at the door, they said, they're coming.
A
Yes,
break,
they
long
are.
shot that bounces wide. Latvians travel well. As McDavid picks it up, they'll be in full force next year in Slovakia. And the tournament is held in Bratislava and Kosice. Kemper ahead to Nugent-Hopkins. Flips that ahead, and Canada will peel off on a change. As Sabolskis goes back. He got bumped off the puck there by Shen. And now Sabolskis gets it back. Lead pass for Kennens. Ronalds Kennens falls. Baltzer's played it back. It's picked off by O'Reilly. And Joel Edmondson goes back for it. Around for Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad chops it ahead and back down to the Latvian line. Long shoot in. And that's stopped by Kemper. Shoveled it across for Edmondson. Latvia did not qualify for the 2018 Olympics. Lost a heartbreaker to Germany on home ice in Riga. They qualified for the previous 4 Olympics with NHL players involved, starting with Salt Lake City in 2002. Bailey flips that down, and back to pick it up is Christoph Zile. Robert Bukarts. The Latvian custom of adding an S to the end of first and last names had players joking that their coach is Bob's Hartley's. After Ted's Nolan's, coached for 4 years.
You leave the country, you just leave your ass at the border. These are the customs.
Ralph Freybergs plays that up to the Canadian line. Knocked down by Eberle. Jordan Eberle. Winds his way across the line. In comes Eberle on it now. Shoots from a sharp angle. Gudlevskis makes the stop, and now held the line by Murray. Murray slings that rink wide for Nurse. Now a centering pass by Horvat just missed. Eberle races to it. Held by Murray. Chipped ahead for Horvat, and now a sharp angle shot by Jost was blocked. Horvat back with it. Picked out by Jost. Drops it off for Nurse. He lost it. And Vitalis Pavlov sends it ahead for Latvia. Nurse pokes it ahead. Eberle moves it out. And the puck bounces into the Canadian bench.
Connor McDavid's first game without a point was against Finland. As we look at the only goal of this first period so far, Barzal, a sharp angle shot that Gudlevskis somehow is not able to catch. It hits him in the glove. It's just sitting underneath him like an egg. And Beauvillier gets there before everybody else and is able to sweep it into the empty net. The Islander colors on Gudlevskis' mask. He plays in Bridgeport in the American Hockey League now, the Islanders farm team.
Chemist Redless knocks it down at center ice, but it's taken away by Vlasic. And Nugent-Hopkins finds Shen. Braden Shen flips it ahead, and that went off a leg as Nugent-Hopkins couldn't reach it. He got slammed into the end boards there by Galvin. This is Galvin. Lost the hand, allows McDavid has it. Connor McDavid throws it back in front for Nugent-Hopkins. Feeds it back for Parayko. Brings it around for Shen. Shen gets loose across for Nugent-Hopkins. Back down to Shen, across to McDavid. To the point, Parayko winds and shoots. He pounded that wide. Vlasic. Down to Shen, chips it around for McDavid. And McDavid flips that back to Shen. Redless had the wall sealed by McDavid, goes the other way for Sabolskis. Out at center ice, it's flipped across for Drashis. Working in on Vlasic. Redless bump there by Pajot. Back at the point, Sutniks plays it across and moved in there by Rubens. Now McDavid goes to it. Shields off Sutniks. Long shift for some of these Canadian forwards, and now moved ahead by Beauvillier. Away comes Beauvillier, drops it off for Pajot. And because Latvia knocked it in, the play is onside. 9 to go here in the opening period. Canada with a 1-0 lead. Canada clinches a medal round berth with a win of any kind here tonight, and has a 1-0 lead on Latvia. Back in Herning, Denmark. The final day of the round robin is tomorrow, and there's lots of games of interest being played on both sides of the draw. Finland plays the United States in the first game here tomorrow, followed by Canada and Germany, then Latvia, Denmark tomorrow night. On the other side, the final game is Russia versus Sweden for first place. And both those lineups are stacked. Russians have the core of their Olympic team from Pyeongchang. As Abel slides that back for Freyberg. Moved ahead now by Edgar Sixna, who just added the Latvian roster. Beauvillier picks it off and flips it ahead for Barzal. And Matt Barzal comes steaming in, a rolling puck, flips it around for Edmondson. Joel Edmondson. Back for Pajot, across to Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad, a long shot, goes off the leg of Sixna. And now Ekblad holds the line. Finds Barzal. Matt Barzal moves around Freyberg. What a move there by Barzal. Now throws that towards the goal. It goes just wide. Ekblad steps up. Flips it around to Barzal. Down to Pajot. Back for Barzal. Barzal slides it back to Ekblad. Across for Edmondson. Has a look and shoots. It goes off a skate. And now Barzal and Beauvillier have to go up at the end of a long shift. And here is Sixna with it. Leaves it there for Kristaps Sutniks, playing in his 10th World Championship for the Latvians. He began in Division C in 1993 as that puck bounced through the slot. Earned promotion in 1997 and have been in the top group ever since. That 1997 year was the year they tied Canada. Latvia's had good National Hockey League players over the years, and even before they were an independent country, Helmut Balderas, the electric train. One of the great Latvian players, Savis Ozolinch, Carlos Krastic, Artur Zerbe. Now shot in by Thomas Chabot, was knocked away by Gudlevska. Chabot back in the Canadian lineup. Ryan Pulock at the healthy scratch for Canada on defense today. Now that long shoot-in goes wide as the play is offside at the Canadian line.
Canada's only given up 2 shots. The deflection by Ronald Kennens, and then a long outside the blue line shot that Kemper was able to corral. Here's Jean-Gabriel Pajot as he runs over Freebergs, who almost ends up in the Canadian bench. So Bill Peters moves his lineup around, and it's pretty temporary because Kyle Turris will join the lineup tomorrow, I would suspect tomorrow.
Which means another forward will have to be a healthy scratch for Canada. Rosters are 25 total, 3 goaltenders, 22 skaters. 20 skaters, 2 goalies dressed per game. So the 20 skaters, 2 more in the National Hockey League norm.
Here, Luc Dubois is out with a minor groin or hamstring injury, so when he's ready, he would likely not be the guy out of the lineup. He had played well.
Dracic works in, winds it and shoots. That goes wide.
So that really means 2 have to come out if Dubois is back in.
The issue for Canada over the years has been how to balance the lineup. If you go 13 forward, 7 defensemen, the 13th forward, an extra D, can sit for a long time. Getting them into the lineup is difficult. Everly moves up, and these players, many of whom are accustomed to playing 18 to 20 minutes a night as forwards or 24 minutes a night as defensemen, don't see that kind of ice time in this tournament.
Really difficult when you go from 17 or 18 to 7 or 6 to have any kind of impact in your shifts.
Horvat lost the puck for a moment, now races to it. Ekblad picks it up and flips it ahead and finds Jost. Ekblad, and then poked by him, and a chance now. Walking in, a quick shot there taken by Sutniks, and the save is made by Kemper with 5:27 to go here in the first period. Denmark coming up on 9 o'clock local time. And a sweltering day here.
Everybody keeps telling us we're getting the best weather, that they don't normally get this at this time of the year. But it has been beautiful for the most part here. What a terrific little city. The people have been amazing.
Now a centering pass, and fanning on that shot was Abols. Rodrigo Abols was loose in front of the Canadian goal. Now Abols swings it across for Kennens. Ronald's Kennens, and behind the goal, Edmondson picks off that pass. And up ahead it goes to Nugent Hopkins. Chipped out of the Latvian zone. Sutniks goes back forward as Shen stepped into him. At the line, Ekblad steps up, poked away from him by Abols, but now Ekblad has it back. Aaron Ekblad of the Florida Panthers, the first overall pick in the 2014 National Hockey League Draft. One of the 3 first overalls on the Canadian roster, along with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Connor McDavid. Shoveled in by Pajot. Sutniks knocks it down. And Nurse retreats on the Canadian line. Back for Shamad. 9 of these Canadian players have won a gold medal internationally for Canada at the World Junior, the World Championship, the Olympics, or World Cup.
Rodrigo Abols, who was a 7th-round pick of Vancouver in 2016, has a goal in the tournament, and he's wide open in front. This puck comes from back behind the net. Good play by Kennens, or rather, yeah, by Kennens, and Abols fans on it in front. Kennens, who, as you mentioned, Gord, played in Vancouver. Abols hopes to play in Vancouver one day.
He didn't score for Örebro in the Swedish League this year in 26 games.
There are some funny numbers when you look in this tournament of players that go a whole season forwards and they have 3 goals and 2 assists, and you wonder if they don't play much or.
Buchkarn throws that ahead, and Kemper steers that away. Well, Kennens, who was a National Hockey League player, a former National Hockey player, played in Zurich, scored once in 40 games in the Swiss League.
He's got a couple in this tournament, however.
Richards Buchards works in, drops it back off, and misses brother Roberts Buchards. And Jaden Schwartz picks it off and moves back. Played around by Vlasic for Shabbat. Vlasic up ahead for Eberle. Jordan Eberle chips that in. Guzlefkas back in the corner, picked off by Eberle. Knocked down by Jost. In comes Horvat for it. Bo Horvat banks that back for Murray. And Ryan Murray holds the line as he flips it down to Jost, who chops that down. Behind the goal for Eberle. Eberle kicks it free for Jost. Jost works it down to Eberle. Trying to flip that back in front. Horvat gathers it up. Bo Horvat back for Eberle with a shot, and Guzlefkas gets the glove up, makes the stop, and shows the puck to the official.
Not the smoothest of glove saves there by Guzlefkas as Canada hangs onto the puck. Horvat and Eberle. Eberle doesn't get much on it. Kind of snares at it and catches the puck on his backhand. Eberle looking for his third goal of the tournament.
Playing in the 6th World Championship. Gold medalist in 2015 with Canada in Prague in the Czech Republic. And of course, a gold medalist with Canada in the 09 World Junior, coming up on a decade ago that he scored the tying goal against the Russians in the semifinal with 5 seconds left.
Eberle's played, this is his 42nd game in the World Championships.
Vlasic poked that away, now back at the point. That shot whistled wide by Sutniks. So a couple of looks here in the first period. And now Nugent Hopkins back with it. Up for Shin, chips it for Vlasic. And Mark Edward Vlasic leads the attack, pokes it down to the Latvian zone with 2.5 to go here in the period. McDavid races to it, drops it back for Parayko. Swings it down for Shan. Braden Shan in front for McDavid with a chance that was ticked wide. As Rubin's got a stick on that. Nugent Hopkins battling for it now in the corner. Shan flips it down for Nugent Hopkins. He was tied up there by Sutniks. Shen back on it. Nugent Hopkins down to McDavid. Connor McDavid. And then taken away, and Drashy sends it back up for Zarinj. Latvia now needs a change with 1:45 to go in the first period. Kennens drops it back for Abols with a shot that deflects wide. Scooped up by Pajot. He's got Beauvillier with him, and now Edmondson jumping into the rush as well. Beauvillier looks across for Pajot. The pass was broken up, and now Pajot picks it free for Barzal. Matt Barzal behind the goal, flips it back in front. Beauvillier, a chance that was blocked. Abols got in the way. And now Barzal can't hold the line as Kennens brings it in and chops it down to the Canadian zone.
Now this line's been in the offensive zone more than any other Canadian line. Barzal, Beauvillier, and Pajot.
Final minute now of the period. Richard Buchards comes in. Moved off the puck by Edmondson. Lugers couldn't hold the line for Latvia. Now fired down by Zile. Got bumped into the Canadian bench. Now back at center ice, here's Jaden Schwartz. Kicks it back for O'Reilly. And O'Reilly swings it across for Josh Bailey. Bailey across to Ryan Murray. A shot kicked away by Gudlevska. O'Reilly with it now. Drops it back for Bailey. Walks it and shoots. And Gudlevska's almost ducked there as the puck went over the crossbar. At the line, Nurse holds. 10 seconds to go in the period. O'Reilly flips it back to an open corner. Now the play called as the puck bounced off a Latvian player. 4.1 seconds to go in the period. The face-off back in the Latvian zone.
So Canada will get one more offensive zone face-off. Barzal going out with McDavid and Nugent Hopkins. They'll likely try to get Colton Parayko in a spot where he can unload this.
Austria has scored late in the period against the Czech Republic, now down 2-1.
That was interesting. They had it set up to go back to Parayko, but Barzal went forward, so did McDavid. They were going to the net.
So Anthony Beauvillier gets the only goal of the opening period. Canada a 1-0 lead on Latvia here at the 2018 World Championship in Herning, Denmark.
Shots on goal after the first period. Team Canada 10 shots, Team Latvia 4. In Copenhagen, the Czech Republic is playing against Team Austria. And the score so far after the first period, the Czech Republic is in the lead 2-1.
Simply clever.
Følg med i BT og på BT.dk, når vi dækker ishockey-VM 2018. Vi holder dig opdateret døgnet rundt og giver dig selvfølgelig også masser af unikt indhold. Du får eksklusive interviews og portrætter af de store danske stjerner, spillernes egne historier direkte fra landsholdslejren og de vigtigste VM-nyheder. Kom helt tæt på ishockey-VM 2018, BT og på BT.dk. BT, med på isen fra start til slut.
And determination I need every day. The years of training, pushing myself to be the strongest, the sharpest. My dedication to the game, to my teammates who were counting on me to deliver. The nerves of steel, the preparation and ritual before the adrenaline of the match. The responsibility of being my best every time, prepared to fight every shift on the ice.
We're making noise,
Come on, boys, let's find another one here, eh? Let's go, game!
Back here for the second period. Canada 1-0 lead on Latvia earlier today. In this building, Norway beat Korea 3-0. Norway survives relegation. Korea will go down to Division 1A next year. Christos Galefnis faced 10 shots in that opening period, allowed 1 goal. Santi Beauvillier, a puck that sat between his pads, and Beauvillier tucked it home. And Darcy Kemper faced 4 shots in the Canadian goal.
For Latvia, the big game for them is tomorrow against Denmark. If they can corral a point,
First and no moving.
this would give them 10 points. If they can get 1 tonight, they'd be 1 behind Denmark. So a win of any kind tomorrow would put them through. As it stands now, if they get nothing, they've got to beat Denmark and beat them in regulation.
Right, that's the huge difference, right? I mean, for the Danes right now, if they can get that game to overtime tomorrow night, they advance.
And with Frederick Anderson in goal.
There's the Danish coach, Jan Carlsen, looking on.
With Frederick Anderson in goal and 2 days off of rest against a team playing back-to-back nights, it's a huge advantage for Denmark tomorrow, and of course, playing here at home.
Rodrigo Abols moves in, feeds it across, and that shot flipped wide by Ronald Kennens. Baltzers in behind the goal, chipped ahead by Parayko. Shane taken down. There's not yet been a penalty in this game, as Vlasic goes around for Nugent Hopkins. Up to center ice, the pass in behind McDavid. Kennens works back in. Ronald Kennens throws it back in front. The pass goes in behind Bukart. And now McDavid has the pass out of his reach and back down to the Latvian zone. Christian Rubens. Up ahead for Zaric. Finds Indrasis, works back in. Kemper makes the stop, and the first penalty of the game will go to Canada. As the Latvians go to the power play with 1:03 gone here in the period.
And this starts with a wonderful breakout pass by Christian Rubens, the 20-year-old who plays in Medicine Hat in the Western Hockey League. Throws a 100-foot cross-seam breakout pass. It leads to Meeks Indrasis getting into the clear. Parayko takes him down. A nice stop by Kemper. But the game's first power play goes to Latvia, who have 3 power play goals in this tournament.
On 17 chances, Canada's allowed just 2 opposition power play goals on 21 attempts. Ryan O'Reilly takes most of the shorthanded face-offs for Canada, steps in against Andrew Zaric. Zaric spent a couple years in Kingston in the Ontario Hockey League. Now a chance for Canada shorthanded as O'Reilly moves in. Canada has a shorthanded goal in the tournament, scored by Paul Horvat. Long wrist shot by Edmondson goes wide. And picked up by Oskar Sabolskis. So a chance here for Latvia to tie the thing up. As the captain Roberts Bukarns plays it ahead. For Andrasis. Back for Bukarns. Roberts Bukarns. Back for Sabolskis. Down to Bukarns. Being watched there by Horvat. Andrasis for Sabolskis. Andrasis shoots, bouncing puck in front, went off a skate.
Well, that hit Edmondson. He's a little on the limp here.
Sabolskis. And then pass blocked by Pajot.
Right foot of Edmondson.
He's still out there as Andrasis brings it in. Cross ice pass for Roberts Bukarns. Bukarns spins it back for Sabolskis. A long wrist shot, Kemper save, rebound loose in front, that's tapped wide by Baltzers. And now sent down the ice by Aaron Ekblad.
Kind of a boxy save by Kemper as he ended up knocking it right back into the slot.
30 seconds to go in the Latvian power play. Ronald Kennens comes streaking in. Back goes Nurse to pick it up, and Darnell Nurse with time. Brings that down the Latvian zone. Freybergs works it now for Latvia. Brings that around, Nurse goes to it. Plays it down to Ryan Murray. Around for Jaden Schwartz. He fires it down. O'Reilly takes it off the end boards. In comes Ryan O'Reilly. Protecting the side of the goal as Parayko steps back on. One shot for Latvia on that power play. Still 1-0 Canada. Camus Redless works around Jost, drops it back, and a shot by Pavlovs goes wide. Now McDavid picks up that pass and streaks down the Latvian zone. The puck rolled off his stick. McDavid goes back after it. Haley got knocked off the puck. And back in center ice, Pavlovs takes it away from McDavid. Vlasic banks it around for Shabbat. Now a centering pass knocked down by McDavid. Back to the line it goes. Sabolskis keeps it alive for Latvia. Works it back as McDavid trying to knock it free. Sabolskis a long shot. That was blocked. Chance in front. They whack away at it. And the rebound pounded wide there by Theodore Blugers. A great chance in front, and Blugers just missed.
Blugers had more time than he thought. He could have just taken that puck one step to his left. He would have had the whole net.
Here comes Blugers again. Works it on Shabbat. Blugers plays for Wilkes-Barre. The American Hockey League was a second-round pick of Pittsburgh in 2012.
21 goals this year. Good season for him.
Roberts Bukarns plays it across. Sixna walks it and shoots. He fired that wide.
Latvia starting to control the play here. This is a couple good shifts post-power play in a row.
Rehard Bukarns gets loose, sends it back in front, and his brother Roberts puts it on top of the net. Now picked off the top of the net by Theodore Blugers. Sixna sends it across, and a hard drive there from Rubens, kicked away by Kemper.
This is the best Latvian team I've seen in 3 or 4 world championships. They're
really good again. That goes down to Gudlevskis as Pajot came in. Beauvillier back with it. Beauvillier drops it back for Barzal. Winds it back in front, trying to find Pajot. And now back at the line, knocked down by Ekblad. He swipes it down, but it's picked up by Kenneth. Latvia gave the United States all it could handle in a 3-2 overtime loss. Took a power play goal in OT to win it for the U.S. Cam Atkinson. Off the end boards it goes, knocked away by Ekblad. Zile back in the corner for the Latvians. Shots in the period 3-0 in favor of Latvia. Now O'Reilly brings it in, drops it off to Bailey. Chipped back in front by Jaden Schwartz. Gudlevskis down, Schwartz picks up the loose puck. Works it back in front. Bailey is shot. Gudlevskis makes the save, diving across. to make that stop as Zieler was also sprawling in front of him.
Guzleskis plays in the American Hockey League in the Islanders system. Josh Bailey from the Islanders from 20 feet out. That was a terrific right pad stop.
Drashis up ahead for Redless. Now Ryan Murray has it back for Canada. Murray up ahead for Eberle. Jordan Eberle winds in, shoots. Guzleskis made the save, and the rebound just skipped away from Tyson Jost. Zaric for Andrashis. For the trailer, Redless walks it in, shoots, and Kemper makes the glove save. Great pressure by Latvia here in the second period. It remains 1-0 in favor of Canada. The Coach of the Year in the National Hockey League in 2015 with the Calgary Flames, a Stanley Cup winner with Colorado in 2001. Coaching Colorado, Atlanta, and Calgary in the NHL. And has his Latvian team in a 1-0 game with Canada here in the second period, in the second period in which the Latvians have carried the play.
The only power play of the game, you hope if you don't score that you build a little bit of energy and momentum, and they've done that. They have been in the Canadian half of the ice ever since that power play started.
Face-off won by O'Reilly. Edmondson ahead for Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz flips that down. Guzleskis launched himself at that. Now O'Reilly shields off Rubens. Plays it down for Shen. This is O'Reilly with Shen and Schwartz, the forward line for Canada. Ekblad knocked that away, trying to poke it ahead, and now does for Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz plays that down. Abel skated by the puck, and now it's picked up by O'Reilly, flipped off the sideboard. Shen chips it there for Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz shoots, and Guzleskis made the stop. Now Canada's back the other way, had a poke checked away. Baltzer's trying to bring it in. O'Reilly swings it across for Ekblad. Both teams changing here, and Ekblad has some room. Brings that around. Off the bench comes McDavid. Chips it back in front for Jost. That was poke checked away from him by Sutniks. Now brought back ahead by Yevpalov. Taken down by Vlasic. Now Sabolsky works in, shoots. Kemper made the stop. The rebound trickled away. Picked up by Vlasic. Yevpalov works back in. Walks it and fires. That goes wide. And Jost has it back for Canada. Ahead to McDavid. McDavid fires that down. Guzleskis chops it down behind the goal. Nugent Hopkins gets there first. At the line, helped by Parayko. Back around for Nugent Hopkins. It bounces back in front. Sabolskas plays it there, but knocked down by Jost. This is Jost with McDavid now and Nugent Hopkins. And McDavid drops it back for Parayko. Has time, winds, and misfire on the shot. And Sabolskas picks it up now for Latvia. Out to center ice for Robert Bukarts. And Nurse stepped into him. Parayko swings back. Nugent Hopkins to Eberle. Jordan Eberle works in, plays it around for Horvat. Oh, Horvat.
Canada's only got 4 guys on the ice. Here comes
Beauvillier steps on. Murray finds him. Beauvillier shoots, just missed. The sleeper play.
Come in 8 seconds after you're supposed to be on the ice. As Bill Peters moves the lines around, sometimes the communication breaks down. With Jost, who is on this line normally on the ice, there was no left winger there.
Eberle spins and shoots. That was blocked by Bulgars. And picked up now by Roberts Buchheitz, and across he goes for Ralph Freiberg. Sotnik sends it ahead. Andressi's in, fired that wide. Nurse stumbled for a moment. Andressi's had a great chance there. Now the lead pass goes to Eberle. In with Horvat. Eberle walks in, waits, spreads it down to Horvat. Horvat throws it back in front. Eberle couldn't reach it. Sotnik has it back. Ahead for Redleys. Drops it off for Andressi's. The centering pass blocked by Nurse. And Darnell Nurse goes back to Aaron Ekblad. Banks it ahead for Beauvillier. There with Pajot. Beauvillier drops it back for Barzal. And Barzal winds in. Drops it back to Edmondson in the high slot. Shoots. That goes just wide. Guzlevskis never saw it. Ekblad races to it. Feeds it down there to the goal mouth area for Barzal. Matt Barzal pivots back in the corner on Galvich. Works back in the backhand shot. Goes just wide. Ekblad back with it. Aaron Ekblad drops it back. Edmondson feeds it down. Quick chip there by Bailey. Trying to throw it back in front. And Gudlevskis has it. You're watching the 2018 World Hockey Championship from Herning, Denmark. Lead for Canada here against Latvia in Copenhagen. The Czech Republic has a 3-1 lead on Austria. The Czechs already locked into the third spot in Group A. Will face the second place team on this side. That could very well be Canada. See what happens tomorrow.
Canada's best chance in the second period right before the break. Josh Bailey with a nice tip. Edmondson shoots it for the deflection, and Guzlevskis made the save. But now we're inside of 10 minutes in the second period, and the chance to make the little guy go away is gone for Canada. Now you're in for the fight for the night. If you don't pull the rug out from them early, they build belief, they continue to work, and now they think, and they do, they have a chance to win. They've had the better chances.
Off the draw, great chance for Jost, and Gudlevskis make the pad save.
They've had just going to say they've had the better chances this period, and then two really good chances for Canada.
Rodrigo Abels moves in now as Ekblad pokes that away. Ekblad, the leader in minutes played for Canada. Now Kevin's in, shoots, and Kemper got a piece of that. Ekblad back with it. Head for Nugent Hopkins. Jost now playing the wing with Nugent Hopkins and McDavid. As Jost works in and pivots back in the corner. Feeds it across for McDavid. McDavid back for Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad works it in deep. Ekblad drops it back to McDavid, who bobbled the puck for a moment. Parayko pokes at it. That was knocked down by Galvich. Up ahead for Baltzers, and Parayko got a piece of that. McDavid slides it ahead, rolls down to Sabolskis. And Nugent Hopkins got a stick in there for a moment, then quickly pulled it back out. Baltzers moves in. Walks across the top, feeds it back in the corner as Latvia's changing. 8.5 to go here in the period. A close game between Canada and Latvia with Gudlevskis in goal. Sound familiar?
Except that the game in Sochi, he had about 35 shots by now instead of just 16.
Back goes Nurse, a nice call against the Latvians.
Well, Latvia's had some good chances in this period, and Tyson Jost, who has quickly become a favorite of Coach Bill Peters, has a terrific chance off the draw as he quickly fires it. Guzlevskis with the saves. When Jost came, he didn't play the first game. He got here late. had a couple goals and an assist in their win against Korea. And you can tell that Peters is always looking for a little more ice time for him. And George, you talked earlier about when you have the bigger roster, guys kind of get lost at times. Now, he's worked his way up to McDavid's line as Schenn and Schwartz are together, the two St. Louis forwards.
In comes O'Reilly, the play called offside at the Latvian line.
I thought we would see a little bit more of this. The Schenn and Schwartz together from St. Louis. They're out there with O'Reilly as Bill Peters is tinkering around, looking for something he can really sink his teeth into. And it's hard because in some games you're so much better than everybody else. How do you know what you're really seeing? How do you evaluate it? And then the game they really want to see against the Finns, they take a bucket load of penalties and they end up losing 5-1. It's tough to evaluate, but they got to get it right. They've only got a game left to make sure they do get it right.
Vince Maya shoots that wide. The bouncing puck's pumped away by Darcy Kemper. Now Eberle back on it. This is Eberle with Horvat and Bailey, the forward line for Canada. Maya, who did not score this season, playing for Dynamo Riga in the KHL, and then scored in this tournament against South Korea. Bailey up ahead for Eberle. Jordan Eberle squeezes that by Galvin. Now the centering pass goes back at the point. Parayko shoots. A rocket goes just wide. Off the side of the goal goes Horvat. That shot might have made Nikita Yapalov's life flash in front of his eyes. And now back to pick it up. It is Vlasic, and apparently a holding call will go against Canada with 6:59 to go here in the period. It'll be Eberle who goes off.
That shot from Parayko, I think I would have gone out there and made the pretend block. But you see the arm of Eberle get the wrap on the Latvian player. Here's the Parayko shot. No, thank you. Oh, Jepilov got his stick on it as Parayko walked into that, and that, not only does he shoot it hard, I don't even really know how to describe what a heavy shot is when it hits, but Parayko's is, and I can't imagine that anybody really wants to get in front of it.
Only Kolzig talked about the shot of Sergei Gonchar being heavy because it spins so much. When it hits you, it eats you up.
See, I had a shot that was neither hard nor heavy. So it must have spun a lot and not gone very fast. Or didn't, sorry, it had no spin.
You'd like it to be one of those things, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was like a knuckleball.
Sabolskis on the Latvian power play. Their second of the period, and it bounces wide of the goal. Picked up now by Roberts Bukarts. Back at the point, Sabolskis. It bounces right back in front, knocked through the crease there by Andrashis on a strange bounce out of the corner. Baltzers feeds it back for Sabolskis. Back down for Andrashis. Works back in the corner, trying to feed that back. Bouncing puck in front. And a crease violation call against Latvia. The face-off will come outside.
Zernich trying to state his case. Now he's fine now, but where he's going to get into trouble is right there. He starts to post up in the crease. And as soon as you post up, even though she doesn't like the call, it's the right call and the play comes outside the line. And Gordon, a lot of cases, that's why I like that rule. Before the puck gets turned around, now he's standing in the crease and you've got a mess. The play's blown dead, the mess is alleviated, and now Latvia's got to start again.
Face off, won by O'Reilly.
That's pretty casual from Guzleskis.
Yeah.
Just let him hit him and let the puck hit him in the chest. He just dropped it down and off we go.
Ronalds Kennens works in now. Kennens shoots from a sharp angle that goes wide. Ebel's on it. Bumped there by Schwartz. And back goes Guntis Galvich to pick it up. Galvich played for Latvia back in the 2006 World Junior Championship in Vancouver. Redless drops that off for Kennens. Now Kennens back on it. Poked away by Ekblad. Loose at the side of the goal for a moment. Ekblad wins that battle for the puck and on his backhand sends it back down the ice. Racing it is Horvat that was knocked away by Gudlevskis. Pajot picks it up. Jean-Gabriel Pajot on it now. 20 seconds to go in the Latvian power play. And Nurse gathers it up.
The last power play for Latvia was much more effective. They had the puck in the offensive zone a lot, and they were able to build off it. This one, they've spent a lot of time doing this, trying to get into the zone, get set up.
Cannons winds his way in. Ronald's Cannons. In behind the goal now. Zerich centers it out of the boxes. Everly long lead pass was chopped down at center ice. Rubin saved a breakaway there for Latvia. Murray up ahead for Shen. Chipped ahead by McDavid. In comes Connor McDavid. Shoots. Saved the left. Just rebound. Nugent Hopkins turned away as Rubin's got in the way of that. Back across. McDavid centers it. And Nugent Hopkins tipped that wide.
It wasn't even a chance, and McDavid's speed created a grade A chance. 2 strides onto the puck and through.
And now Nugent Hopkins back with it. Richards Bukarts takes him down. Canada has not yet had a power play in this game. 4:15 to go in the second period. Lead pass to Richards Bukarts, works it and shoots. Misses short side. McDavid knocked that away from Galvins. In comes Josh Bailey, throws it back in front, spins. The puck rolled off his stick, and Drashis plays it back down to Freyberg. Gets it behind Pareko. Richards Bukarts plays it down to Blugers. And Pareko has it back. Colton Pareko, the St. Louis Blues, up for Bailey. He finds Jokes with McDavid. Jokes works in. Waits for help to arrive off the bench. Crisscrosses with McDavid. McDavid feeds it back for Edmondson. Joel Edmondson shoots. And that was blocked in front by Oscar Sabolskas. Richards Bukarts chips that ahead. Out there with his brother Roberts. Stolen by Barzal. He's away along with Pajot. And Jokes, who needs a change. Barzal winds in. And the play called offside at the Latvian line. 3:17 to go here in the second period. Canada leads 1-0. Denmark on this Monday night. A 1-0 lead for Canada on Latvia. A win of any kind in this game clinches a playoff berth for Canada. And they remain in contention for second spot in the group. Murray brings it in now, shoots. It goes off a skate and wide. Barzal back on it. Barzal, Beauvillier, and Pajot, the forward line for Canada. One of the few combinations that stayed together through this game. And Beauvillier has the only goal of the contest so far, scored in the first period.
This was the line in the first period that spent the most time in the offensive zone for Canada. They haven't been out much really in this second period.
Nurse works in, backhand shot through the crease. Pajot couldn't reach it. Now Pajot pulls it out. Jean-Gabriel Pajot down to Barzal. Drops it back. Pajot, a quick drive, and Gudlevskis comes across and makes the stop on that. Pajot drops it back for Beauvillier. 2.5 to go in the period. Anthony Beauvillier. Down to Barzal. At Barzal. Flips it back across to Murray. Ryan Murray walks in, waits and shoots. That was blocked by Maya. A loose puck knocked wide by Beauvillier. Barzal back on it. This line again dominating possession as Barzal shoots, and Christian Gudlevskis makes the stop.
Tough to handle in the defensive zone sometimes against Barzal, and what I notice is when defensemen try to get up close to him and lay the body on him, that's when he almost waits for them to get close so he can spin away. You almost have to keep Barzal at the end of your stick, one hand on your stick, keep him out away from you, because if you let him get in tight, you're not going to be able to catch him when he spins.
McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Jost back out there for Canada. And McDavid wins the draw back, but Edmondson has to leave the zone. Aaron Ekblad fires it down. Here's Galvinch with it. Victor Galvinch playing his 11th World Championship for the Latvians. Thrown down by Kennens. He drops it back for Abols. And Ekblad stepped into him. Abols back for Sabolskas. A rolling puck shoots, and Kemper steers that away. Scooped up now by Nugent Hopkins. Winds in with McDavid. Flipped that pass ahead. It was chopped down by Galvinch. But Nugent Hopkins kept it alive for McDavid. Centering pass for Jones. Just missed him. And now Balchers brings it back. Goes ahead to Kennens. And that soft shot flutters down to Darcy Kemper. And he'll hang on to that.
A couple of close calls for Tyson Jost in the offensive zone. He had that earlier chance off the face-off that Gudlevskis makes the left pad stop on, and here he just misses the pass from below the goal line from McDavid. Bob Hartley must like a lot of things about this game. Number one, I would say after getting pushed around a little bit early, they've shown no fear of Canada. They've been aggressive, they've been on the puck, they've really held their own. The shots just 21-12 here.
Ronnie throws it ahead for Shen. He couldn't handle it. Now the shot by Blugers deflects off a stick, up and out of play.
Theodor's Blugers, you mentioned, Gord, came over later in the tournament. He missed the first 3 games. 2 years in the American League, 21 goals this year.
And prior to that, a long time in North America, came as a bantam age player, played at Shattuck St. Mary's in Faribault, Minnesota. 2 years there in bantam and midget, then on to Minnesota State Mankato in the NCAA. Now that long shot bounces around in front. Sutton's got that away, and Kemper had to be quick with that. Now the puck goes into the Latvian bench, and the faceoff will stay in the Canadian zone. 1:04 to go here in the period.
Yeah, deflected by Roberts Bucharts in front of the net. A face-off win and a D-to-D pass. Bucharts gets to the front. There's the tip. That hits the left pad and just slides wide of the goalpost on Darcy Kemper. Kemper's looking for the puck. His position is good enough to make the stop. Kemper 13 for 13 so far.
Face-off won by Horvat. Ekblad picks it up. Aaron Ekblad, lead pass for Eberle. Final minute of the period now in the second, as Bailey comes in for it. Bailey with Eberle and Horvat. Now moved by Ekblad. That'll be icing against the Latvians.
Canada with an offensive zone face-off. They take the Horvat line off the ice quickly. McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Jost come back on the ice. Zernich is taking the longest possible route towards the face-off circle. He skated up the left boards, came over to the right before he got all the way over to the face-off dot. Now
and now gets tossed out.
See, that's pretty solid work by him. Now nobody's tired anymore. Now they're going to fix the clock. Andrasis will take the draw. Remember, he cannot be kicked out here.
Right.
If he does, it's a penalty for Latvia. They scuttle the draw.
Loose puck. Jost leaves it there. McDavid walks in. Loose puck again. And this time, Nugent Hopkins couldn't poke it home. And Galvinch has lost both gloves.
Oh,
did he get cut there?
Yeah, hopefully he's not cut here. He dropped both gloves. Galvinch is 58. Watch this little move by McDavid. He's in a phone booth, and he still tries to work his way in to make a move here. In that pileup, you see Galvich immediately grab his wrist. Looks like they're going to take him to the dressing room. I guess he got hit the most.
So 34.8 seconds left to face off in the Latvian zone. McDavid with Joe to Nugent-Hopkins. Eballs will take the draw for Latvia. Off the draw, here is McDavid. Moves away from Freybergs. Drops it back in the corner. Now Balcher chips it in. A chance now for Latvia. But look at McDavid come back. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a chance for you, except the fastest player in hockey in the world is coming back the other way.
Here he comes the other way. McDavid in the dying seconds works it back in front. That bounced off his stick. And back down to the Canadian zone. Edmondson with it. Across for Ekblad. And as the horn sounds, it remains a 1-0 lead for Canada through 2 periods of play here at the 2018 Worlds in Denmark. Our second intermission is coming up.
The score is still Team Canada 1 goal, Team Latvia 0. Shots on goal after second period, Team Canada 12 shots, 22 in total. Team Latvia 9-13 in total. In Copenhagen, the Czech Republic is playing against Team Austria. The Czech Republic is in the lead 3-1.
It's not about the blade. It's the shaving gel that matters. Nivea Men Ultra Glide technology for an ultra close shave without irritating your skin. Nivea Men, the art of shaving.
Introducing the 2018 IIHF ad. Player statistics. Team statistics. Live updates. And introducing Guessing Game. Predict each game's final score. Win points and compete with hockey fans around the world. From any smart device, in your own language. The 2018 IIHF app, powered by Skoda. Download it now from the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Skoda. Simply clever.
goaltender, goalie number 55, 2-minute trip.
Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't know.
Swanaki, eh? Fucking big minutes there. I love it.
Let's go, eh?
1 minute.
Paolo, can you give him the 1 minute, please? Yeah.
Going at 1. Shooting the puck here, man. Hey, shooting the puck, making plays. Come on, fellas. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Come on, boys, fuck.
Chevy.
Anthony Beauvillier is the only goal of the game so far, scored in the first period. 2 minutes and 51 seconds in. And Canada has a 1-0 lead on Latvia through 2. Christian Gudlevsson has been good at goal for the Latvians, facing 22 Canadian shots. And the Latvians have had their chances. A win of any kind for Canada in this game tonight guarantees a spot in the quarterfinals and keeps them alive for a spot in the top 2. The top 2 teams on each side will stay where they are, so the top 2 will stay here in Herning. Third and fourth place teams will cross over into Copenhagen.
Sorry, Gord. Maybe the most important part would be to avoid the Swedes and the Russians.
There'll be 1-2 on the other side. They're playing each other tomorrow night to see who's first, who's second. The Czechs will be third.
There's Guntas Galvic back. He was like he got a little repair job there. Oof.
He did that himself. Sabolskas has that blocked by Jaden Schwartz. Now Schwartz pivots back. Along with Braden Shen, who began this game on the line with McDavid and Nugent Hopkins. Now Schwartz back at the point, picked out by Kenneth, but stolen back by O'Reilly. Shen to O'Reilly. Banked around for Schwartz. He gets free in the corner. Flips that back. Evel's trying to take that away. Poked back by O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly digs it free. Bounces it across to Schwartz. Shields off Sabolskas. And now Shen goes in for it. He falls. Galvins plays it across for Kennedy. He lost the puck to Ekblad, who spun it ahead. Knocked it down. And now finally moved to center ice is Edmondson. Gathers it up and plays it back across to Ekblad. Ekblad to Horvat, who chips that down. Canada will close up the round robin against Germany tomorrow afternoon here in Herning. The Germans out of contention for a medal round spot after they lost their first 2 games in shootouts to Denmark and Norway. Bailey drops it back, picked off by Robert Bucharts, and dropped back to the Canadian zone.
Germany played a terrific game yesterday when they...
Bucharts centers it. Robert Bucharts plays that back. And a long point shot scores! Christian Rubens sneaks it home and the game is tied at 1.
The 20-year-old Christian Rubens, who plays in Medicine Hat in the Western Hockey League, had 7 goals this year. This puck scrambles around and Rubens is going to get enough time to settle it down. He shoots this puck. It goes right through Kemper. He goes to catch it. He doesn't. An odd goal at each end. I thought Robert Bucharts was going to shoot the puck. He doesn't. He goes back and finds Rubens. And his 40-footer beats Kemper, and it's 1-1.
Rubens in his second year with the Medicine Hat Tigers. And a 1-1 tie here. I mentioned before that Kristujas Gudlevskis played in goal for Latvia in the Olympics in 2014. That was a 1-1 tie in the third period until Shea Weber broke it open on the power play. Picked out now by Jost. Tyson Jost back to Parayko. He shoots. That was blocked. Bouncing back to the sideboards for Jost. Down to McDavid. For Nugent Hopkins. Back to Vlasic. Mark-Edward Vlasic bobbled the puck. And Palovs has it back now for Latvia. Nugent Hopkins backhands it ahead for McDavid. Trying to poke that free. Now Nugent Hopkins has it back. Canada changing, and Nugent Hopkins doesn't get it deep. Kalis Redlis back with it now. Barzal flips that back in the corner. Redlis goes racing to it for Latvia. Now picked off by Barzal. Drops it back for Edmondson. Quick lead pass, chipped in by Beauvillier. Gudlevskis out to play it. Beauvillier rings it around. Ekblad waiting for it. Aaron Ekblad shoots. That goes wide. Back at the point is Edmondson. His long shot goes wide as well. Ekblad races ahead to it. Pokes it down to Barzal. And now a penalty coming to Latvia. It's going to go to Andras Zaric. They'll get him for a hold, and Canada will get its first power play of the game with 3.5 gone here in the third period.
While the puck never got to Gudlevskis, Latvia was running around their end, going side to side. That's what Zaric doesn't like, is that Barzal has Zaric's stick in his right hand. See Bob Hartley saying it's holding the stick, but they started to run around. You lose energy. Now you start to reach. The holding call made Canada's first power play of the game. 5 for 22 in the tournament, but 3 of those 5 goals were against Korea.
Right.
So there's been long stretches where they've struggled on the power play.
Parayko then knocked by him by Pavlovs. And Parayko steps in him. Pavlov's back on it. In behind the goal is Ekblad. McDavid, Shen, and O'Reilly start up front this power play. Parayko with Ekblad. Ekblad puts it in for Shen. That pass broken up by Galvins. And he sends it back down. There's nobody called there that hit that rounded glass portion by the bench, but it continues. McDavid picks it up. McDavid drops it back for Ekblad. Back in the corner for McDavid. Latvia's only been shorthanded 16 times in 6 games. Balchers works in a centering pass. Just missed Blugers there.
Gord, that would be another thing that's changed for Latvia. Way better discipline this year. Maybe it's because they're a more talented team. Maybe it's an influence or a stress point for Bob Hartley, but Latvia in the past has been a team that gets frustrated and will take a pile of penalties.
In comes Schwartz across the line. Jaden Schwartz pivots back to Barzal. Matt Barzal drops it back for Thomas Chabot. Takes the return pass. Chabot across to Barzal. Barzal centers the tip wide by Eberle. Schwartz plays it around for Barzal. Matt Barzal swings that back door. Schwartz takes a shot, bouncing puck in front. Eberle reaching for it, the puck in the crease. They battle away for it, and Guzlevskis basically falls on it and hangs on.
Desperation dive as Jordan Eberle couldn't get to the loose puck. Once the puck goes up in the air, 1, 2, 3, 6 of them, 7 splashing around the front of the net. Guzlevskis finally able to get to the puck.
Nosedive into it.
Eberle mishits this tip pass from Barzal. And obviously a familiar play from New York where Barzal would run the hot power play off of that side, John Tavares off the other.
McDavid back to Parayko. To Vlasic. Parayko. McDavid. Backdoor pass, swept in front by Vlasic, and Shen missed on that. Wall sealed by McDavid. Digs it free for Shen. And now Zarek steps back on the ice. 2 shots for Canada on that power play. O'Reilly picks it back for Parayko. Throws it behind the goal to McDavid. Connor McDavid centers it. O'Reilly with a shot. He whistled that wide.
No reaction from Guzlevskis. Really quick play. McDavid to
now he gloves that down
to O'Reilly.
And finally poked free. Vlasic at center ice for Parayko, and Canada will make a change.
There's no question McDavid's kicked his game up a gear or 3 from the game against Finland.
Pajot had it stolen away, brought in by Andrashis. Andrashis a long shot, gloved by Kemper, and he hangs on. Christian Rubens has tied it up 1-1 here in the third.
We welcome head goal, Keyboard's Skoda fan of the game.
Rubens, the 20-year-old, one of 10 players on this Latvian roster who is 23 years of age or younger, has the tying goal here in the third. 13:54 to go. Face-off control by the Latvians. Richards Bukarns had that blocked, and Jaden Schwartz brings it back. Schwartz in the corner with it now. Slides that back at the point. Murray along to Nurse. Darnell Nurse banks it off the end boards wide. Murray keeps it alive. Zile lost the puck to Shen. A centering pass, and Schwartz just missed on that. Richards Bukarns gets Nurse to turn, plays it around for Murray. Chips it ahead to O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly works in with Schwartz and Shen. In comes Schwartz, backhands it back in front, rebound loose in front, because left is knocked out away. Shen almost cashed. Now lifted down the ice by Blugers. Nurse back to pick it up. Slapped down the ice by Edmondson, chipped in by Eberle. Savolskas goes back. Bailey stepped in to hit Horvat on it now. Kennens out to center ice. Knocked away by Edmondson. A chance now for Everly moving in. A bouncing puck in the slot. Knocked away by Sotniks. Edmondson across for Ekblad. Up for Everly. The pass missed him. And icing called against the Canadians. 12:32 to go in the third.
Jaden Schwartz, without a goal in this tournament, is going to flick this pass towards the front of the net. It almost ends up going in. We look at it from the referee's vantage point. This hits the pad of Gudlevskis. Shen almost there to bat the rebound in.
Ekblad up ahead for Everly. And Gudlevskis out to play it. Barzal swings that rink wide for Vlasic. In shoots, and Gudlevskis makes the stop through the screen of Beauvillier.
Really good look from Barzal as that puck is coming around the boards. He sees a lane across to Vlasic, but that's 90 feet across the ice and zipped the pass right on the tape. Nobody to screen the goaltender. Gudlevskis is Marty Brodeur watches on. Marty Brodeur and Sean Burke, the co-general managers of this team.
Beauvillier wins it towards the goal, picked up by Galvin. Kept the line by Parayko. Barzal gets to it. Matt Barzal. Dropped off for Pajot. Down to Beauvillier. Anthony Beauvillier. Spins that back in the corner. And now Parayko leads on that shot. It goes off a leg over the glass and out of play. The face-off will come outside. They say it went off a Canadian up and out.
There's plenty of time in the tournament where, because it's so long, the intensity's not there. The guys have a good time. You go through practice days and off days, and now you get into this last portion of it right before the quarters, and everybody gets locked in a little bit.
Right.
But it's just different because the game is different, the officiating's different, and some guys handle this part of the tournament better than others.
Murray slaps it down to the Latvian zone. Picked off by McDavid. And Rubens goes back to pick it up. Prior to going to Medicine Hat, Rubens spent 3 years in Sweden at the ages of 15 to 18. Jost picks it free. Works back in the corner. Banks it across to McDavid. McDavid back for Jost. At the point, it goes to Nurse. And Nurse goes back down to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins flips it back for Nurse. Crisscrossing with McDavid. And McDavid slides it back to Murray. Ryan Murray down to Nugent Hopkins. Centers it, knocked away by Gudlevskis. And the rebound cleared away by Pavlov. Sent all the way down, and Latvia will not be able to change with tired players on the ice.
I'm watching on the bench, and Nikita Zhevpalov raced and sat down. Oh, they got him. He's got to come back out. He tried to hide in the crowd. There's Jacques Cloutier, the longtime assistant who's been with Bob Hartley in Colorado and in Calgary.
Face-off won by Pajot. Now fired out to center ice, and Latvia can start the change. Lead pass for Pajot with Beauvillier. Pajot drops. Barzal to Edmondson. Fed that back across, no one there. And now Barzal back with it. Trying to center it. That's picked out by Abols. Up he goes for Baltzers. Drop pass broken up by Barzal. And that shot fired high and wide by Zile. Beauvillier gets to it. Up ahead for Barzal. And Barzal goes racing in. Penalty coming now to Latvia. Freibergs is going to go off. And And so Canada's going back to the power play with 10:25 to go in the third.
Roughing call. Latvia's had 2 power plays.
2 minutes, number 29, roughing.
Canada getting their second power play of this period.
So O'Reilly, Shen, McDavid up front, Ekblad, Parayko on the back end. Canada's second power play of the game, second of this period. Sabolkas off the face-off win, can't get it by Parayko, but now set down the ice by Freyberg. And Freyberg's in the box, rather. He's sent down by Sabolkas. And now Parayko. Colton Parayko gains center ice. Chips it across the line, gets after his own shoot-in. And Parayko. Picked out by Shan. Back for Ekblad. Flips it across to McDavid. Connor McDavid slides it down side of the goal. O'Reilly bangs away at it. Shen comes in. Slides it back to Parayko. Parayko to Ekblad. Back to Parayko. Long wrist shot was blocked, and Parayko holds the line. Ekblad. Back to Parayko. To McDavid. Back to Parayko. Winds and shoots. A hard shot goes wide again. Baltzer's got in the way of that. Ekblad. Back to Parayko again. Ekblad fires. It goes off a leg and wide. McDavid back on it. Great pressure on the power play by Canada. McDavid flips it down to O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly slides it across to Ekblad. Walks in, drops it back. Parayko's got a lane, winds and shoots, and a bullet shot goes just wide. McDavid back on it. He falls. Picked out by Shan. Parayko back for Shan. Slides that towards the goal. Tipped wide by O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly back on it. Ekblad got tied up by the official. Now it's brought back by the Latvians, played in by Blugers.
A couple of really good chances. Parayko missed the net twice. And O'Reilly missed on a high tip. So all that pressure, nothing that Guzlevskis has to do in goal, however.
Ekblad just shattered his stick on the Canadian bench in disgust. As Barzal works in, Matt Barzal winds in and shoots. That goes just wide. And the power play is over. No shots for Canada. Lots of close-in chances. Gudlevskis gloves that down, and he'll hang on. 8:19 to go here in the third. You're watching the 2018 World Hockey Championship from Herning, Denmark. Off in the Latvian zone, 8:19 to go here in the third period, a 1-1 tie. Canada opened the scoring, a goal by Anthony Beauvillier in the first 3 minutes of the opening period. Christian Rubens with a long point shot that got by Darcy Kemper ties it up here in the third. The shots are 25-15 in favor of Canada. Redless. That back across for Zaric. He couldn't knock it down. And now Ekblad throws it ahead. Beauvillier falls in behind the goal. Redless plays it ahead for Zaric. Green point, he goes for Andrashis. And Edmondson plays that around. Ekblad sweeps it ahead for Pajot. Kicks it ahead for Beauvillier. to Barzal in stride. In comes Matt Barzal. Works it through the slot, and it dribbles down to Guzlevskis, and he'll hang on.
That's a really good play by Barzal as he's on a 1-on-2, and he's going to chip the puck between the defenders and try and use his speed to get by, and if he doesn't get by, hopefully he gets pulled down. Look at him attack the 2. He's going to go right through the middle. It's a good play by Sotniks to use his body to get in front of Barzal. He doesn't reach out and hook him, but Barzal tries to create something with nobody around him. 6 assists for Barzal in the tournament, 85 points in his rookie season this year in New York.
The odds-on favorite to capture the Calder Trophy is the NHL Rookie of the Year, McDavid. Works it behind the goal, spins and shoots. It dribbles down. Guzlevskis gets the blocker down and makes the save on McDavid.
I mentioned how McDavid's game looks like it's kicked up a gear or 3 from the Finland game. He just seems to be at the puck with more pace, and when he has the pace, he's almost unstoppable. He's had a couple of near misses with Tyson Jost. To see the 2 of them talking there as Nugent Hopkins and McDavid have been together all tournament, and they've been searching on that right side for somebody that fits. Jost gets this chance after Braden Shen started there tonight.
McDavid wraps it around, works it and shoots. Stopped by Guzlevskis. Puck still loose. Jost whacks at it. A quick shot there by McDavid.
That's off the post.
Yeah, off the pipe and out.
Look at the tenacity of McDavid. He knocks Sotniks off the puck here. The puck is going to get tied up once, and then McDavid's going to find it again as the thing ping-pongs around. Guzlevskis can't see it. Oh, it hits his glove, the crossbar, and goes out of play.
Another conversation there, McDavid, Jost, and Nugent Hopkins.
Last time on this side, McDavid shot it to the boards and goes and gets it himself. He was going to do the same thing here. This is a set play where the centerman will shoot it towards the wall, though his winger skates into the defenseman to create a seam, a block, and the centerman goes and gets it himself.
Back at the point, Parayko across for Vlasic. Mark over Vlasic's wrist shot, tipped wide by Nugent Hopkins. Jost back on it, down to McDavid. McDavid spins free. Feeds it back to Parayko, bouncing puck. He kept it alive for McDavid. And now Eballs has it back for Latvia. Out to center ice, Parayko. Across to Vlasic. Lead pass to McDavid. In comes Connor McDavid from a sharp angle. Guzlevskis lost the puck for a moment. That weird sort of Statue of Liberty save he made earlier almost cost him there. Now Parayko on it. Colton Parayko works it down low. That's a big man shooting the puck there. Plays it down to Jost. Tyson Jost. Pivots back in the corner. Walks right out. Feeds McDavid. A centering pass for Nugent Hopkins. He was tied up there by Freyberg.
Good poke check by Guzlevskis to tip that pass off course.
Hopkins, a backhand shot. Guzlevskis save. A late whack from McDavid. And the face-off will stay in the Latvian zone. Good pressure by this top line for Canada.
Oh, they controlled the puck for a good minute in the offensive zone. They close a couple of times. Nugent Hopkins, this last backhand that's deflected by McDavid, takes a little swipe at it. Guzlevskis able to freeze it, and they can get a change. There's that earlier shot. Guzlevskis, I'm not real sure what type of catching motion this is, other than not a very good one, as he tries to reach across his body on his backhand, and he ends up flinging it back the other way. Not a very efficient way to catch a puck.
Scramble draw controlled by Latvia. Sotniks to the point. Nurse kept it alive. Now Roberts Bucharts to center ice for his brother Richards. Richards Bucharts. Back in the corner. Nurse up ahead for Barzal, for Bailey rather. And now picked up by Richards Bucharts. Works it back along the boards. Plays it down in the corner for Blugers. And Horvat gets to it for Canada. Oh, Horvat. Pokes out ahead, finds Everly. The pass for Bailey missed, but Bailey blocked that pass. Now Murray back for it. was blocked by Redless. Schwartz has it back. Jaden Schwartz at center ice. Redless knocked it down. Now it's picked free by Shen for O'Reilly. And O'Reilly risked that wide of the goal. Back on it is Schwartz. Zerich lost his stick. Schwartz gets a loose puck. Shen. Centering pass that was ticked away by Andrashis. And Edmondson's pass deflects high off the glass. O'Reilly drops it back for Shen. Down low to Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz pivots back. Walking his Ekblad, a quick shot. That was blocked by Zerich. But not very far away. Ekblad. Crisscrosses with Schwartz. Plays it down to O'Reilly. Great pressure by Canada again. Schwartz works it back through the crease. Shen trying to find it. Zerich has it back now for Latvia. O'Reilly all over him. And Zerich backhands it back down to the Canadian zone. Inside 5 to go here in the third period. A long lead pass for Nugent Hopkins. Works it and shoots. He fired that wide. Joe's back on it with McDavid.
Canada going with 2 lines here for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Since their work rate has kicked up here, Gordon, the last 5 minutes, Latvia can't keep up. They're hanging on.
Now McDavid plays it back to Vlasic. A point would be huge here for Latvia. It would tip the balance of overtime in their favor against Denmark. Joe's reaching for it. Walks in a backhand shot. Guzlevskis makes the stop. And Guzlevskis gets a stoppage in play with 4 to go here in the third. Off back in the Latvian zone. The shots piling up for Canada here. It's 8-2 in the third period. Overall 30-15. But a 1-1 tie. McDavid back out after the TV timeout with Joe to Nugent Hopkins.
Gord, we saw this in the Finland game last night. The constant pressure. Eventually Germany took a penalty and they scored on the power play to send it to overtime. This is constant pressure. Latvia hanging on here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Does Canada find the winner? Do they draw another penalty that their power play might be able to crack through for them? This has been the best they've played in this game in the last 5 minutes.
Murray down to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins looks down at McDavid. Sutton stepped into him. McDavid gets free, slides it back to Murray. Ryan Murray centering pass. Tipped high and wide by Nugent Hopkins. And the face-off will come outside. 3:43 to go in the third period. Right now, Latvia is 2 points behind Denmark for third. So if the game went to overtime between Latvia and Denmark tomorrow, Denmark would get the quarterfinal spot. But if Latvia can get a point here, that changes everything.
Then Latvia just has to get the game.
Well, a win of any kind. A win of any kind gets them the quarterfinal spot.
Latvia has won a game in overtime. Their first one, they beat Norway 3-2. Rudolf Balcer scored a beauty in the early portion of that 3-on-3 overtime.
Now an icing call against the Latvians, and that'll bring the face-off back to their end.
I was watching Jean-Gabriel Pajot as the icing went, or the icing was called. He was looking at the bench to see if they were coming off the ice again, that they were going to go back with one of the other 2 lines, but they'll leave Barzal, Beauvillier, who has the goal, and Pajot on the ice. This was Canada's best line in the first period.
Pajot wins the faceoff back to Parayko. Colton Parayko a long shot. Guzlevskis makes the glove safe, juggled it again, but is able to hang on.
Yeah, that's a battle with the catching glove for Christos Guzlevskis. This is not a rarity that we've seen tonight. This puck's going to come all the way through, and it hits the very tip of his glove, and he is able to hang on a little bit. But he's played well. Another terrific game for him against Canada. 29 saves on 30 shots.
Now it's Barzal. Take the face off.
Oh, you know what? He might have a little bit of blood on his sweater because he's getting sent off the ice.
So Horvat will come on.
We'll watch here as the Barzal's looking for the exit ramp as they're gonna.
So Pajot will take it. What it's so clean they got by Parayko.
No, he's got a bloody nose, and they're working at it on the bench here.
Vlasic throws it ahead for Beauvillier. On jumps Pajot, sweeps it around for Horvat. Rolling puck to Horvat. He gets loose in the corner, and again. Horvat shovels it across for Pajot. Back at the point for Vlasic. Long wrist shot knocked away. Back at the point is Parayko. Throws it back for Horvat. Galvin stepped in the way. But again, a long reach of Parayko. He pokes out ahead. Now Barzal. Pass just out of his reach. Now it's brought ahead by Balcers. Rudolf Balcers works in. A centering pass. Just missed Ebbels there. Ebbels back at the point. Bouncing puck in front. Knocked away by Kemper. A tangle at center ice. Pass too far for Horvat to reach. O'Reilly comes on with 2.5 to go in regulation. Rashis works it down to the Canadian zone. Edmondson plays it around for Ekblad. Goes off the stick of Zerinch. Knocked down by Redless. In behind the goal is Ekblad. That pass picked off. Redless had it knocked away by O'Reilly. 2 to go here in the third period. Freybergs goes back. And the puck went right down the Latvian goal, forcing Gudlevskis to play it. He and Shen collided. Freybergs drops it back. The McDavid line comes back on for Canada. Joe's trying to work it free. Exhausted Latvian players on the ice. They've gone down to about 8 skaters here in the last 5 minutes. And Blueger's back to pick it up. Across he goes for Sutniks. Knocked in by McDavid, and the play called offside at the Latvian line. 1:22 to go in the third.
Not only is Latvia short in their bench, it has had to hang on and try and hold this 1-1 tie. There you see Gudlevskis and Shen collide. Guzlevskis tries to draw the penalty.
Face-off outside the Latvian line. McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Jost out there. The face-off won by Doubles. 1 year in the Western League and another in Quebec. On that face-off is Sabolskis is back to pick it up. Plays it around for Balcers. High in the air. Back goes Parayko for the rolling puck. Knocked that carefully away from Kenneth. Inside a minute to go in regulation time. Vlasic back out there with it. Welcome those of you watching the game from Copenhagen. Braden Shen walks in and shoots. That's tipped wide by Sutniks. Canada and Latvia in a 1-1 tie here. Less than a minute to go in the third period. Ryan O'Reilly races back for it. O'Reilly drops it off for Edmondson. For Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz, long cross ice pass, knocked down by Redless. And McGillis Redless goes to Indrashis. Knocked down by Schwartz. Redless back with a centering pass that was knocked away by Ekblad. Schwartz lifts that rink wide for Shen. Knocks it back in behind the Latvian goal. Loose in front for a moment. Sotniks has it back. And Kristaps Sotniks brings it out. Plays it down to the Canadian zone. And Canada and Latvia are going to go to overtime here. So each gains a point. But Latvia ties it up in the third to force OT.
Team Canada 1 goal, Team Latvia also 1 goal. That means we have a tie, so we'll take a little break of 3 minutes and then we'll go into overtime. Shots on goal of the third period. Team Canada 9 goal, 31 in total. Team Latvia 2 shots on goal, 15 in total. Join the fan zone before and after each game and enjoy great music, food, entertainment, and have lots of fun. Should I stay or should I go? If you say that you are mine, I'll leave it till the end of time. So you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? It's always taste, taste, taste. You're happy when I'm on my knees. One day it's fine and next it's black. So you won't be on your back. Well, come on and let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? If I go in control, stay with me, don't. So come on, let me know. Decisions don't move. You don't want me said. Exactly who I'm supposed to be. Don't you know which clothes even fit me? Come on and let me know. Should I come in or should I go?
Christos Gudlevskis, a 25-year-old goaltender for Bridgeport in the American Hockey League, has stopped 30 of the 31 shots he's faced. Darcy Kemper, 14 of the 15 he's faced. 1 on 2 shots, though, in the third period. So we go to 3-on-3 overtime. Canada lost its opening game in a shootout to the United States. This is the 3rd time past regulation for Latvia, which beat Norway in overtime in its opener. They lost in OT on a power play goal against the United States.
Canada starts with McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins and Ekblad. Interesting that Latvia starts their 2 forwards that are in the American Hockey League. Balcers, 21, 23 Blugers, and they're on the ice with the veteran Sotniks.
Sotniks swings back for the loose puck, and swinging back to pick it up is McDavid. McDavid winds it across the line. In comes Connor McDavid. Works it back down to Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins. Chris crosses with McDavid, works in, looks not to shoot. Now shovels it down to Ekblad. Back for Nugent-Hopkins. Looking for McDavid, he's closely marked. Now a centering pass, McDavid knocks it free. McDavid shields off Zarinch. Plays it back down to Nugent-Hopkins. He finds McDavid, walking in McDavid with a chance. In, shoots, scores! Connor McDavid, overtime winner. And Canada takes it 2-1.
Just a brutal change by Latvia. I'm not sure what Zarinch is thinking here. He leaves the ice as McDavid is turning up at the top. I guess they're going to take a look at this. McDavid bunted it out of the air into the net after Gudleskis made the save. Look at the change. McDavid's all alone. It's a 3-on-2. They'll take a look. Oh, the initial call is no goal. Now it's a goal. Oh, okay. So he said no goal because Gudleskis had made the save. A remarkable save at that. They'll take a look at this. It's a good goal. McDavid's stick was below the crossbar. But Latvia made some kind of change at the bench. Nugent Hopkins all of a sudden had nobody covering him. It became a 2-on-1. McDavid scores. And this game is over. Canada wins in overtime.
Yeah, take a quick look at it. So the Canadians have taken it by a score of 2-1. Canada vaults over Denmark into third place. Still has a chance at second, depending what happens tomorrow. Canada plays Germany. Denmark plays Latvia. The Finns play the United States. But Latvia once again proves to be a tough out at this World Championship.
They played a terrific game. Now they have to rev this thing back up to find the same energy to play tomorrow against Denmark. It's all sitting pretty clearly for them now. That's an important point for them, though, Gord.
Now the player of the game presentations.
The players of each team will be awarded with the official watch by Tissot, official timekeeper of the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The prizes will be presented by Bob Nicholson, IIHF Vice President. The best player for Team Latvia, number 50, Kristas Gudleskis.
Bob Nicholson of the Edmonton Oilers has seen that before for Gudleskis back in 2014.
Number 72, Anthony Beauvillier.
Beauvillier is Canada's player of the game. Scored the first goal early in the first period. And then saw his team grit it out and win it in overtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Canada. Get your official merchandise today. Don't forget to visit the NEH merchandise tent in the fan zone. We kindly ask you to remember all your belongings when you leave the arena and look forward to welcoming you again. Don't forget to get your tickets for tomorrow's games. Tickets can be bought at Ticketmaster.dk. Tomorrow, Team Finland playing against Team USA, 12:15. 16:15, Team Canada plays against Team Germany. And 2015, Team Latvia playing against Team Denmark.
You want to do McDavid? Yeah, like McDavid extra
Does that make sense or no?
Sure, I'll just set it for McDavid. You can take it from there.
Yeah, okay. So in other words, just babble around?
Yeah.
Okay. Babblation.
Okay.
Oh, okay, 1 second.
The janitor's got to do his work
clean
here.
this up because after admonishing David Tomlinson, we cannot leave a mess.
No.
Mr. Buchanan? Thank you, sir.
You just handed someone else.
Yeah, they're both the same. Potato, potato.
Latvia has proven to be a tough out at this World Hockey Championship. Took the United States to overtime a couple of days ago.
Come on, Benny. That's one of Gord's best ones. Didn't you think? 1 second.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, Al.
Latvia has proven to be a tough out of this World Hockey Championship. Took the United States to overtime, then takes Canada to OT as well, tying it up in the third. The difference in this game, Connor McDavid.
I think this is Latvia's best team that I've seen in the World Championships in considerable length of time. They're young, they're fast, they work hard. But when Canada kicked it into another gear, McDavid was at the lead. I thought it was his best game in the last couple. His energy was high. His pace was so quick. A couple of times he just took off. Latvia can't contain him. And then when Bill Peters shortened the bench in the third period, it was apparent Canada was pushing hard, and McDavid's line never left the offensive zone. Tyson Jost played on the left side, or on the right side. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, of course, on the left. But it was McDavid who eventually scores the game winner. That was by far Canada's best player.
So Canada's still alive in the chase for second place in this group. Will take on Germany in the final game of the round robin on Tuesday.
Thanks.
A closely contested confer. You guys were looking for a good response after the defeat to Finland. What was so challenging about Latvia today?
Well, you know, they work hard. They pack it in tight. You know, they don't give anything up in the middle. You know, they're a good team. They're well coached. They're structured. The goalie was good. That's about all you can say.
A feeling of elation for you, I'm sure, securing the victory today. You guys are still in contention for second place in this group, so much more emphasis is on the victory tomorrow?
It's a big one tomorrow. You know, Germany didn't play today. We played late, so you know we know what that means. So you know, we got to come ready to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Følg med i BT og på BT.dk, når vi dækker ishockey-VM 2018. Vi holder dig opdateret døgnet rundt.
This had the makings of being a historic performance for Latvia, never beating Canada in the history here at the World Championships. How did you manage to squeak out a point?
I think we were just coming out of the game. We wanted to win. We come every game just for the win, right? So I think we battled hard as a team. We knew the game didn't really matter much by points and everything, but I think we just wanted it so bad and show everyone where we come from.
You made a massive contribution on the score sheet. After you finished up your junior career, you said that it was a goal of yours to make the national team. Why was this so important for you?
It's been my dream. Obviously, when I was born as a small kid, you know, 6-7 years, I was watching the games, Team Latvia playing against same USA or Canada. It was my dream to come play here and be part of this kind of thing, right? So, you know, obviously that goal was huge for me.
Well, this can continue to be special for you. The last time Latvia made the quarterfinals was in 2009, so you'll take on the host nation Denmark tomorrow, and going to be a big test for you.
Yeah, obviously, we're going to come hard. You know, we never give up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And determination I need every day. The years of training, pushing myself to be the strongest, the sharpest. My dedication to the game, to my teammates who are counting on me to deliver.